Hey guys, welcome to the Top Percentile. Today we have with us a very special guest. He's one of my close friends. He's been, in fact, I've known Aman before the CET prep. He and I were in the same engineering college together. He was 2 years senior, in fact, so he's actually my senior, but now it's changed in JBIMS, which is a little funny. And I've literally saved his name. He's here in his traditional outfit, by the way. I've literally saved his name in my phone as Aman MEFC, and that's what he's wearing. I'm wearing the JB shirt. He's wearing the United shirt. So we're all representing where we are from. But very soon, Aman is going to be a part of the JBIMS family. So firstly, congratulations, Aman. It is a wonderful thing. He scored a 99.96 in CET 2021, and he's done that in a year which was very unpredictable. And I think it required a lot of effort and courage to go the distance and to take the exam on the final day, with so many changes in the paper as well. So we'll start with the questions. But Aman, nice to have you here. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks,
it's been a
Anay.
pleasure.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
But again, what was the first thing that you felt when you saw the result? What was it like? We just started with the most basic question here. What was that like when it started off?
Yeah, so like it was a quite a funny story that I'm actually a part of an MBA college right now, and I was going to meet my friends in Goa, my MBA college friends, for the first time in an offline setting. I
Right.
had always seen them behind a screen till
Of
now.
course.
So we were meeting for the first time in Goa, and on the back of my mind, I always had this thing कि CET का result can come out कभी भी. We never know it when will it come out. So I spoke to a couple of friends and told them कि I just pray कि CET का result doesn't come out while I'm in Goa, because if it comes out in Goa and गलती से अच्छा आ गया तो फिर सबका मूड खराब हो जाएगा कि यार ये तो फर्स्ट ट्रिप था, लास्ट ट्रिप भी हो सकता है. So instead, so I was just praying कि ना आए, and like as luck would have it, I was on the cab from Goa airport to my resort, and I got my result over there. So
Nice.
like my hand was shaking at that time and heart rate itna rise ho gaya tha. I called my mom, told her the result. I called a couple of friends from my current college. I called you
Right.
to tell you
I
about
remember
it.
this.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember you
Yeah,
texting me before the results saying that you are going to go and the results are
yeah,
coming, and then entire
exactly.
conversation about this. But this is great.
Yeah,
Like,
so
again, this a topper who is literally having a good time and go after the exam. This is how life should be. Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
yeah, so that was it. So like it was quite exciting, and like this was what I had dreamt of since January, and to
Right.
see it become a reality was kind of surreal for me.
Yeah. And since January for a normal year, it was January to April for a normal CET. Now this was
Yeah,
January to September, and then October when the
yeah,
results came out.
exactly.
That was completely
Exactly.
drawn out. So, in fact, coming to the point of it being drawn out like this and it being such a long wait, did you take any other exams apart from CET? How did you prepare for them, or what was it like? Like, what was your entire MBA entrance exam journey like?
Okay, so like I have 3 years of work experience.
Right,
So in 2020, it was 2 years, and I had come back to Mumbai from Jaipur, and I'd worked for 2 years, and we had a break of 15 days due to COVID. फिर
right,
work from home had resumed. At that time, I realized that I had a lot of free time in my hands. Like I was working for 11, 12 hours, but to traveling time save हो रहा है, and you don't need to go out, nothing to do at all. So I was
right.
saving a lot of time, and I always had this thinking. I had given CAT and all the exams. I had given CET in my final year as well, engineering time.
Okay,
So I decided ki, like now is the time. Let's give it a shot again. So I started preparing in April 2020 for CAT,
right,
and
right,
I gave CAT was the first exam I gave, and yeah, so my score was 99.1 in CAT.
right.
Uh,
Correct.
uh, and after that, I'd given all the MBA exams which you give, like I'd given NMAT, I'd given SNAP, I'd given XAT, and all 5 to 6 exams, and
Hmm.
IFT bhi diya tha, and the last one was CET.
Obviously.
So yeah, and I was like, I had gotten admission into a college through my CAT percentile as well.
Right,
So
right.
it began in July, and since then, like since July, I had been a part of that college. But yeah, like CET was always there in my plans.
Nice.
So
Makes
in
sense.
January, when I think IFT was the last exam, and Jesse IFT end, I took a 5 day break,
Hmm.
and January end, I decided that now is the time that I start preparing for CET on a serious note.
Right, right,
And
right.
at that time, I thought कि March में हो जाएगा exam. So we were just waiting for the date to come so that I can like speed up, accelerate my preparations. but instead it went on till September. So
Yeah.
so yeah, but I had given all the exams and
Right. Makes
yeah.
sense. Makes sense to do that. I think in a year which was so unpredictable as well, it makes sense to diversify options as much as possible. At least keep other options open. And there are a lot of students who have taken this as well, who've taken other colleges and taken CET. It's been everything like that. So, in fact, one side note that I want to mention: when he says 3 years of work ex, he was one of the top traders at his firm. So, any any tips about the stock market, please reach out to him whenever you need anything. This guy knows it all. But this year's CET was crazy. I think this was the craziest thing. I remember we had spoken a very long time ago about how to go about CET and how everything
Yeah.
should start. And since that time, I was just saying, date pata nahi kab aa raha hai, aa jayega. Kabhi na kabhi to aa jayega. You just have to be prepared for it. So coming to the prep part of it, how did you prepare for CET? Like after Jan, how did it start off? What did you
Yeah.
go about doing on that point of time?
Okay. Yeah. So January, May, I think I spoke to you and I told you that I'll start preparing. So I did not study anything. I decided that I won't be touching any books. Kuch bhi ho. I'll just start off with the mocks and see where it leads me.
Got it.
And so I started off directly with my mocks in January. I gave 3 or 4 mocks. And then I saw that video of yours in which you had made an Excel in which you were recording mocks, scores, and everything, and you had a lot of kind of variables such as time per attempt or marks per minute.
Right.
So yeah, so like that, and you had applied conditional formatting as well.
Yes.
So I
In fact, I
decided
remember
कि I'll
you had made the same format of this, right? You had made the
yeah,
same
exactly. I
Excel
decided to
format.
थोड़ा improvise करता हूँ उस पे,
Uh,
and I'll share it in a while. But yeah, I
yeah.
decided कि let's do it because like I gave 30 mocks total,
Okay.
and July में I gave my last mock. So July में जब last mock दिया था, I feel कि if you're not noting down scores or using it to quantify it, वो the first mock becomes irrelevant.
Exactly.
सो आई थॉट कि एक्सेल में डालूंगा तो एटलीस्ट इट हैज 30 मार्क्स दिए, तो एटलीस्ट 3% का वेटेज तो है, 3.33% वेटेज है वो स्कोर को. सो इट्स गेटिंग डिस्काउंटेड समहाउ इन माय प्रिपरेशन, एंड एवरेज स्कोर्स देखूंगा तो फर्स्ट मॉक का भी उसमें कुछ वेटेज आता है.
Correct.
सो दैट्स व्हाई आई डिसाइडेड कि लेट्स डू दिस, कि पूरा स्कोर सारे एकदम एक अरेंज्ड नीट फॉर्मेट में. एंड आई यूज्ड टू वर्क लाइक क्रेजी ऑन दैट एक्सेल. मॉक से ज्यादा एक्सेल पे फोकस करते थे. So data entry karna, then drawing inferences from it. So I kind of used like वो strategy use किया था it was basically quantifying my marks. सब qualitative factors को quantitative में change कर दिया. And I can share the screen with you. I have the Excel open if you want.
Yeah, just 1 second. Just one thing I have to mention.
Yeah,
but
sure.
this, what he's mentioned right now, I think the thing about Excel and keeping a track of the things, this is exactly what we have been speaking over time. And I just love that the students of TDP and the new students of JBMS are now becoming the face of what we used to say, and they are themselves are saying this. Like, we had not discussed this entirely. He himself started doing this, and I think it is the most sensible thing to do. You have to keep a track of your scores. You have to keep a track of every mark that you get, why you're getting a mark, everything that happens in the paper. You should know each and every bit of it. So yeah, please share your Excel. If you want, you can share it with if you want, we can share it with the audience as well. We can put a link in the description if that's fine with you.
Yeah,
that we can do whatever is there. Anyway, we'll go through it right now, but I just wanted to highlight the importance of this Excel sheet because it's really important. And I love that other toppers are saying it. Like, that is the best part of it. That is more proof in a new year, people are doing it. So that's more important now.
So let me know if it's visible. Right?
It's visible. You can go through it.
Yeah. So these were like my 30 mocks I had given. Right. And so this section is the overall one.
Oh, can you zoom in a little bit? It'll be easier to read then.
Yeah.
Or
sure.
just you can talk from overall and then go in anything.
Yeah. So this is the overall section.
Right.
So इसमें like we add the mock, उसपे filters डाल के रखा था to see कौन से इसमें average marks क्या रहे. This is my total score. So the average was around 130.
Right.
Logical में 52, visual में 17, verbal में 26, and quants में around 35.
Right.
These are the
so
total
very strong
genuine attempts.
Very strong verbal and quant also. Sorry. Very strong logical and quant.
Logical and
quant were the ones that are pushing you on.
Yeah. I'll get to verbal in a while.
But I meant weak verbal, and the abstract is still fine. 17 is not a bad score, and average is always a little deceiving. Like, we'll see your scores towards the end. That will make a lot more sense later on. So go ahead.
So, and total attempts is basically the amount of like genuine attempts. So I
Right.
used to go through my entire mock. I used to see कि ये question genuinely attempt किया था या did I guess it? फिर this is my guess, this is my genuine score. कि like genuine attempts में से जो
Right.
correct आए उसका score and जो guess किया उसका score.
Got it. Got it.
So, and I had this accuracy of 77% roughly, and 23% I needed this कि 20 to 25 के बीच में guess accuracy रहना चाहिए 1/5 probability के बीच में, क्योंकि उसके beyond वो spectrum के beyond कुछ भी गया तो there's like an issue, वो mock outlier बन जाता है तुम्हारा.
Right.
So this is my time. Yeah, go on.
So since the start you were doing 200 questions, like since the first mock it was always all 200 questions.
Yeah. Like total attempt was
everything
always 200. Yeah. I used to save like actually I used to go section by section.
Okay.
So like if I decided कि 45 minutes I have to spend on quants, so I'll finish the entire quant section के like all the 50 questions in 45 minutes. So अगर 43 हुआ है and I have to move to another section और 5 question बाकी है, I can't spend much time, so I just guess the remaining 5 and move on. So I won't have to come back.
So मतलब you're taking more like a cat paper. Cat papers पूरे section wise था rather than that.
Exactly. Yeah. It did not work in the end, obviously, because of the change in pattern. But
correct, of course. But, I keep forgetting about that. So thank you for reminding me. I keep thinking of CET the way I did it. But just explain this general part. Then I'll ask you a few things that I want to see over here.
Sure. And this is the time per attempt. Per attempt being the genuine attempt.
Right, makes sense.
And these are the marks per minute. Then I'd I'll go by the section I attempted, the order. So first I always attempted quants, because I knew कि बाकी पहले इसमें I went for quants first, क्योंकि बाकी इसमें I did not have individual questions. LR में भी sets आते थे, verbal में भी आते थे. Abstract was too weird to start first. So I used to start with quants की पहले 5-10 individual questions answer कर सकूं. I'll have that confidence.
Engineering mentality.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Engineering में. And in the first mock I started LR first. I got 105, 106 ka score something. 103 if you can see.
Right.
I'd gone with LR first, quant second. So it did not work at all. So I decided कि कोई दूसरा try करते. Then I gave quant first and LR बाद में. So it kind of worked for me. So I decided कि चलो let's try to refine this. So I used to give around 50 minutes to quant पहले. And my marks per minute and time per attempt were really bad for the first 10 marks.
Yeah, right. I see a lot of greens though, so I mean it is good. But
it's like marks per minute were fine, but time per attempt was really bad. And greens जो है उसमें बीच में whites बहुत ज़्यादा आ रहे, which I did not want at all.
Right, and I see the one wala green niche, like the 1.12 marks per minute is down. Like there is no one until that point. Right.
Yeah. And उसमें ऐसा है कि इसमें then this was the time I think I spoke to you second and I sent you this Excel, I remember.
I remember, yes.
And you gave me the input कि change your strategy and 50 का 45 minutes दो. So if you can see यहाँ से पूरा it's all 45 minutes.
Nice. See, this is the good thing. Like when there's I'm glad you used it. Like rather what happens many times is you say something but it doesn't get implied. I really like that I can see that it's been used here.
Yeah, so
I remember the second time we discussed it was much easier.
So the fact it was like common sense कि एक बार try करते, mocks में यही करना है, you have to try different things and see कि दोनों green जहाँ आ गया, you know this is the strategy you want to go with. Right. And you just try कि अगर if it's happening repeatability आ रहा है, so you just go for it. So now you can see थोड़ा consistent performance आया है.
Right.
I don't know ये इसमें क्या हुआ था.
You can have outlier mocks. IMS का mock हो सकता है तो बहुत सारे reasons हो सकते हैं.
Oh नहीं, I had COVID that day. Okay. I gave the mock while having COVID, so
different level of motivation. But ठीक है.
So if you see quants ka, like it's majorly green except for this outlier that was due to COVID.
Right. So green for you is greater than 0.6 from what I'm seeing. Like it's
I think it's 0.65.
0.65, got it. Okay, 0.65 greater than 0.6. Right.
Yeah. And quant mein I was ready to give utna marks per minute. If I'm giving 45, so 45 into 0.65 is around 30. So I was happy with 30 plus score ka kuch bhi hai, that was like fine. तो ये पूरा ad worked out the math behind it कि quantify किया था every single thing. So this was the this was my first section.
It's very interesting. I always had a general overview MPM, not a per section MPM. Like I've never thought of it this way. That's really nice.
Okay,
I used to think
like
overall
I did
150 लाना 150 minutes में कुछ भी करो लेके आओ उसमें.
So I had actually divided जो individual sections है overall is just a summation of it.
Correct.
So वो that overall वाला section is पूरा summation of these 4 sections.
Right.
So I used to work on these 4 sections only, पर analyze करते time overall से उनके summation से देखता था where I could save time.
Nice.
This is I used to give around 20 minutes to abstract. उसमें end में I tried to reduce it थोड़ा. I was always going for like 15, 20, 25 5 का multiple से. I decided कि नहीं यार 18 भी रख सकते हैं. So I decided कि 17 sounds good. So I kept 17 का end में, and I started getting a lot of greens for my last 5 marks, 7 marks. Yeah, and this was
यहाँ पे it is greater than 1, I guess. The green is greater than 1 in the case of abstract.
It's a 0.95.
0.95. ठीक है. Right.
Yeah,
I can see it.
0.95.
Got it.
Yeah. So here I was always aiming for around a score of 17. जितने questions attempt कर रहे हो, like get like जितना time दे रहे हो, get उतना marks.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Abstract is it's a faster section. Quant में वही issue होता है. We'll come to quant. We'll come to individual pass later. You walk through the entire thing. It's really nice.
Yeah. This is the logical one. Logical was always strong for me. कुछ इसमें I used to take a lot of time, but marks per minute was always greater than 0.7. So if I'm spending if I'm spending 60 minutes, 70 minutes rather for LR, I used to get like 17 to 0.7, so 49. 50 marks ka used to be my target. My average is also 51.77. Nice. So this was my third section, and finally I used to move to verbal. And verbal में हमेशा I had this thing कि I'll give 15 to 20 minutes, not more than that.
ठीक है.
Always decided. Yeah. तो उसके वजह से my attempts were very high, and I used to skip RCs. 15 question RC गया है. So for me, CET was not of 200 question, it was 185 always.
Right.
तो मैंने 185 का ही दिया है. तो that's why, like if you can see यहाँ पे भी attempts have always been around 35 का range. Guessed has been 13.27, and accuracy ऐसा था कि नहीं आ रहा question, just move on. I'm not going to give more than 30 seconds. So इसके लिए if you see my time per attempt is very low here, like
of course.
0.5 minutes. Yeah. So it was very fast कि 20 to 30 seconds for a question, नहीं आ रहा, move on.
Yeah, but the thing over here to note is that even though you're at low time per attempt, you had a high marks per minute. Like you were getting it right.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't just like you were picking it correctly and getting it right. It wasn't just solving it fast. That's the important thing here. You're giving it 20 minutes, but then you are also scoring higher marks. Like see, you have 17 in the 28 row. There's 17 minutes that you spent, and you scored 36 over there. Exactly, the 2.12 marks MPM. That's I think our highest in the entire thing. So 2.12 is great with the 0.4 minutes per question. So that is actually a really, really good thing. And that's what I think. In fact, I remember this striking out as a unique thing in your prep when you had first spoken. And I was wondering, कि RC क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? RC तो easy होते हैं. RC करने चाहिए.
And you were telling me कि shift like try solving RCs instead of like those 5 minutes which you are saving in quant, put those in RCs. But I knew कि if I put that in RCs ना मेरा marks per minute बहुत skewed हो जाएगा. Because I'm spending 5 extra minutes, and I was sure कि मेरा RC का accuracy उतना high नहीं रहेगा. But there were a few mocks, if you remember, जिसमें RCs में they used to give कि paragraph 1 in the bracket. A question is from paragraph 1. तो वो RC तो I used to attempt for sure. I used to पहले ही see कि ये RC कैसे टाइप का है. IMS mocks में they were never given कि आंसर कहाँ पर आने वाला है. तो उसमें तो I used to just mark option C everywhere. Guesswork is just marking option C.
Right. RC में तो और कर नहीं सकते ज़्यादा if you not read.
हाँ, exactly. तो दिमाग भी नहीं लगाना. Don't even read it. You are saving a lot of time over there. It's just a function of time plus time and attempts and accuracy. So that's why I decided कि let's go for it. कि give less time here, but try to maximize your MPM, marks per minute higher रखो. तो उसमें Actually, this is your Excel, and you had given this heading as
0.8, yeah,
0.8
0.8, I
centimeter. I did
remember.
not even change that, and I'm getting 1.45. So,
In fact, the
so
first
yeah.
thing I saw the green, I was wondering, it was 0. Like in the other ones, I was wondering, quant में 0.7 है तो green कैसे है वहाँ पे? I was wondering,
Yeah.
how is it green if
Yeah,
0.8
and
is
the
written there?
heading, I did not take the effort कि
That's
heading
sorry,
change कर
that's
दूँ
perfectly
from.
fine. See, the point is you made the Excel sheet yours, and that's what helped you out, right? You were able to
Yeah,
learn from it yourself. That is what makes a difference. That's really
exactly.
nice. And
And this is
yeah,
like this is the summation of
overall,
everything,
correct.
all the mocks. Yeah,
So if you
and
just zoom out, yeah, let's just see the greens in
yeah.
the in all of it.
So initially, I distinctly remember 10th mock was the day I spoke to you.
Okay, nice.
हाँ,
इसके
तो
ऊपर white है.
हाँ,
Right.
उतना पोर्शन जो है, you can see the difference. ये बीच
This
में
is
कोविड वाला मॉक है.
This is
This is the
crazy.
COVID mock.
I have not seen this. Like I remember 10th mock के पहले का discussion.
Yeah,
उसके बाद you've not
yeah.
spoken about this nicely.
Yeah,
Nice,
I
yeah.
don't think I sent it to you. So
Yeah.
this was like 10 mocks के बाद I spoke to you. You said कि थोड़ा rearrange करो. Try to focus on your strengths और weakness वाले part को cut down करो. So I just tried to understand कि ये कैसे होगा. After that, it was all uphill. उसके बाद तो
This is
like it
crazy,
was,
man.
yeah.
This is crazy.
Except for this thing which
That is
disturbs
fine.
me. I'll
That is
hide
fine.
it. I'll hide it later on.
In fact, it is important that people see that ऊपर नीचे होता है. Obviously, for you, it was an external reason that made it go up down. But I feel like in general also, it's very important for people to know that mocks go up and down all the time. Like if you see my Excel sheet, my last few mocks were horrible. Like the last few scores.
I
were
remember.
horrible. See, even in yours, in fact, even in yours, the last mock that you taken is a 123 compared to a 158 and 147 earlier. So
yeah,
perfectly fine. It's all in the head after a point.
Yeah,
you were saying
true.
something. Sorry, I cut in.
I was just saying that about the mock only. I saw your Excel, and I used to compare. Like I used to like you did not have any filters in your Excel.
Nothing.
तो मैंने filters लगाया था, and I used to check कि इसका IMS में average कितना है, मेरा IMS में average कितना है. So if I'm like within 1 or 2 marks of Anay, I'm doing good. कि हो जाएगा कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा.
That is, I used to always wonder why people have been asking for a mock score. क्योंकि mock तो same होने नहीं वाला है. What are you going to do?
But
with
I
it?
feel over 30 marks or over the like if you take an average of 10 marks or 10 marks, it will even out. Ki,
yes, exactly.
You'll get a fair idea. Ki if you're getting an average of 135, I'm getting 136 over 30 marks. Correct. Then that luck factor goes down. Ki marks same नहीं होगा, but over 30 marks तो distribute हो जाएगा evenly.
Right.
So
exactly. After a point, it's more skill. After a point, it's more skill that gets tested.
Yeah,
that's really nice. This is a very in-depth thing. I have a couple of questions for you. So, this, how did your accuracy change over time? Like, has there been in both genuine and guessed accuracy?
Okay.
Have there been any trends in that you've seen? 63 to 81 that I saw right now.
Yeah, so that's just the end ka. But initially, like I think the time I spoke to you after my 10th mock, uske baad thoda change hai because those 5 minutes were spent, which I was saving in points, those were spent in LR. And I think my LR accuracy was quite high. Yeah, see, it's 87%.
Right.
So I saw this.
This is total accuracy 87%. Nice.
Yeah. This genuine accuracy is basically कि genuine attempts का कितना आ रहा है.
मतलब guess ज़्यादा थे ही नहीं इसमें. In this there were not much guesses, no, in comparison. In logical guesses were also lesser. Like 12, 13 guesses, 8 guesses. नीचे तो there is 1, 5, 6, 5, 1 guesses.
There's one with 30 also. कुछ हुआ रहेगा, I don't know. But yeah. LR में I used to do really well start say, and that was my strong subject. So I decided कि 5 minutes which I'm saving there I'll put in here. तो उसके वजह से LR का भी accuracy थोड़ा बढ़ गया रहेगा. I'm sure कि 90s में आ गया रहेगा end में. Because of that that translated into my total accuracy in overall sections as well.
Right.
So it was just playing around with time. कि टाइम का like make that a variable, उसको change करते रहो, खेलते रहो उसके साथ till you figure out कि what works best for you.
Coming back to the same point, engineering mentality वही है ये. This is just using what you've learned in engineering. Just keep trying to meddle with things. To just understand what works. But exactly. What is important here, I think the most important takeaway over here is that even though I had a different fixed thing that I was doing, I really admire that you had a separate thing, you stuck to it. Like even though I'm sure all our interviews would have been completely apart from things. Anyone in TTP would have told, keep a fluid thing. But what is important is you knew that you were good in this. You knew
Yeah.
that you were good in this sectional format where you made sure that you were able to do well. I think that was the important part in this. So, which leads me to my next thing. Since you had a sectional thing, one of the things that I kept telling students and anyone who I was speaking to was the reason I said fluid was because paper is unpredictable. And the paper
True.
was unpredictable. So
Yeah,
how did
yeah,
that
totally.
change? How did this strategy change into that afterwards? In fact, wait,
So
if
like,
you need to
yeah,
discuss Excel, something more than Excel, then you can share it. We'll come back to the question
yeah.
later. Like if anything in the Excel you want to mention, then we'll stop sharing and go to the next part of it.
We can go to the next part directly. I think
Perfect, perfect.
this was it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll open it again. Not an issue.
Perfect. I'll let you know. I'll think of something. It's a very lots of
Yeah,
data at once. It's a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of data
yeah.
at once. Good.
Like I had seen your Excel and I was like, it's quite good. And I had removed the points where you had mentioned topics.
Huh.
I remember you had individual topics. LR ke liye, for example, you put circular arrangements. You
Correct.
got these many correct. So
Right.
I decided कि वो नहीं, I'll just look at it from
Huh.
a sectional point of
Makes
view.
sense.
कि
Makes sense.
overall picture देखो rather than going into individual questions.
Makes sense.
And yeah, end में वो even out हो जाता है. Like your risk comes down if you have the overall idea कि क्या हो रहा है. I don't think
Right.
ऐसा होने वाला है कि your circular arrangements are not good और सिर्फ circular arrangements का question आ रहा है. ये होने का probability is quite low.
Right.
So
So it
because
was,
of
yeah, just the thing about the topic wise thing, the reason I did that was to find out if there's any weak part of me, weak part that I could
yeah,
improve.
exactly.
Matlab, if
Yeah,
supposing,
exactly.
for anyone watching, if supposing you are in a place where you don't know how to improve your mocks, please do the chapter wise thing. Then if you do it, it'll
True.
help you a lot. If you already know
Yeah.
the chapters, see, Aman was already prepared to a certain extent because you can see that in his scores as well. He didn't have to learn too much also. It was more about applying what he knew in the most efficient way possible, which is where this part of the Excel sheet came into it, which is where this helps a lot. But yeah, I 100% agree with. I don't think you needed to do it. Like that would be a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
And
So
for
it's
me, it
just
was only
find
adding the
your own.
marks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
find your own way. Like सबका अलग personality. Everyone has to express themselves in a different way.
Right.
So find out what suits best. This suited best for me. So I decided to go for it. So yeah, I'll stop sharing
just one
this.
more thing. What was, you can, no need to share it. You can just tell me.
Okay.
But what was your score like? First mock was 103, and maximum went to what?
It went to around. Let me just check.
Yeah.
I think my highest was around once. It was just around 160.
Nice.
So I
And
touched
final
158.
was
150. Final one was 141.
right. That's
It was a
960.
test funder one. Final like CET ka, it was
CET
140.
140.
It was 140. Yeah.